Hey, I just wanted to make this video real quick to discuss the key things to do to make this switch glitch work, and a way that I might have found to just make it like really simple, and to show a couple of safe ways of doing things. So first off, setting up the glitch starts here. Before, I think people just go down right and pick up the rock right away towards the left side here, like this. So the altitude of the duck flying by is at a correct height, I guess. I think it needs to be at certain values for this to work more reliably. However, I had a problem where when you fire rod the spike in the cane switch room, it seems like setting it up like this, you can get frame ruled sometimes, and the fire rod won't hit the spike, or like it seems to hit like the very top of it where it looks like the fire rod is hitting the railing, but it doesn't register. However, it seems like when you load here, if you stay until where Link is aligned with the flowers, not pixel perfect or anything, you could be a little bit right, a little bit left maybe, but I know you could be a little bit right, like here, and then wait for the duck to leave the screen. And again, I'm not 100% sure about this. This is just going by feel. And this is also the only change that I've made compared to when I was missing the fire rod shot, compared to when I get it easy every time now, which I'll show after I explain all this. Seems like if you're about here and you wait for the duck to fly off screen and then move a little bit, or even not a little bit, that shouldn't matter, just pick up the rock and align for the quick work. It seems like that makes fire rodding the spike a really big frame window. I can do it very easily, even though I do a little bit of a safer approach, which I'll explain when I get there. So go here, like wait here, and then step into the warp. Just wait here, wait till the duck goes off screen. There we go. So everything from this point to the basement is exactly the same. But this is part 2 of the current setup to activate this glitch. You want to pick up this pot, and then right after throwing it, you want to just tap the dash button real quick and place this Mario block immediately afterward. This room is a little annoying to try to show it in, though I believe I can remove sprites, right? Alright, cool. You just want to, just like this. You see in the input display, I'm just tapping A and then tapping Y right afterward. You just want to make sure that you see the dust frames from when you start a dash before you put the block down. So again, pick up the pot, throw it, and then do the quick B and Y. What I like to do is throw the pot with B and then tap A, and then tap Y. You can do AAY or BAY, whichever one is more comfortable for you. It just happens to be BAY for me. Well, that was BAX, but you know what I mean. This room here is the same as usual. But then, this is where we started activating the switch glitch, along with the following room and then the room following that, to save a total of about 11 seconds. However, with the safe approaches that I'm about to show, you're losing anywhere from 40 to 60 frames. It just depends what you're averaging. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to dash bonk over this spike. Just because that's really easy for me to do compared to walking through the railings. And this. See, I can't do it consistently at all. So I just go for this dash bonk over the spike. And right afterward, you're gonna fire rod this spike. And you hear the switch activates from the switch that's up here that you normally use the cane for. With my approach to this, you're losing about 30 frames, but it just makes it really easy. So what I'm doing is I'm walking down here, and I'm waiting about for this spike to ricochet off the left side of that railing there before I menu to fire rod, and then fire rod right after the menu. And that's just a reliable timing for me to fire rod the spike, because it's pretty tough if you're not setting it up anyway, you're just eyeing it out. At least for me it is. So I use this specific approach just to make this very easy. And again, I could probably sit here and fire rod this spike all day, but for the sake of not making this an hour-long video, I won't do that. But with specifically setting up the way that I am before picking up the rock to warp into the Dark World Mire area, doing it the way I specifically said makes this fire rod shot really simple, and it avoids this scenario where for some reason the fire rod either just goes right through the spike, or it seems to hit like the very top of it where it looks like it's hitting the horizontal railing, but it doesn't register the switch. You also want to stay here. You don't want to move until the switch activates, because if you move down more, the switch isn't going to activate at all. You have to be here so the switch is still loaded up top. So you just fire on, wait for the switch to activate. And again, approaching this the way I am here, which I think is about as safe as it's gonna get, unless you're gonna let this spike bounce around like 2 or 3 times and then try to time it. You're losing about 30 frames to the optimal approach, which I'll try like once or twice. Like that. You can also get the spike right away with this, but as you see, you basically need perfect movement, because the dash bonk over the spike does lose a number of frames. However, the movement is just really easy to me that I stick with it anyway. With this room, you're going to do the same thing. Switch glitch number 2. The method that I do here is I walk basically until Link is at the middle of these pegs. Can be a little bit after too. And you see like the circles in the tile designs. You want to go up. You basically want to hold diagonal at this point here. And then just go to where you see Link is over the circle tiles here. And then fire on. And just keep walking forward. And you'll get it. It seems like holding diagonal when you're shooting the fire rod, as you see here, might be important. Sometimes it was failing for me when I wasn't doing that, but I'm not certain about it. You might just want to check it out for yourself. I could easily just be doing something wrong myself. Another cool way of doing this is like slashing here and then fire rodding and then dashing through. But the only thing about this is like if you fire rod and then try to dash too early, you're still gonna activate the switch glitch, so Link will be behind these pegs that are up. So if you like mistime the dash, then you're basically screwed. Or at least losing a bunch of time. So that's why I just go with this approach. And you want to walk up here, because if you try to do this a bit lower, you see it doesn't work. Because this switch, I think it's because this switch isn't fully loaded. So just go to the tiles, go to where you see the circle tile texture under Link, and just fire on. And just keep walking forward, and you're good. So for this one, you can go up here, you can do this. And pay attention to the time, or the frame, 628, 625. 634, but that was rough movement at the end. Basically, if you want to activate this switch glitch here, you can shoot the fire rod on the right side of the torch. But you can also shoot it above, like that. So the approach I like to take here, which I really like, is to just start from the door, just hold diagonal, quick dash buffer here, and then just fire rod the bottom of the torch. And I'm tapping the dash button real quick, because if you don't, it's really easy to get hit by this spike here. As you see, it's not happening at the moment, but trust me. I might actually be winning frame rules here. It looks like it's close. But yeah, you see there, that can happen, and you get the bunny beam. So I like to dash the... God, I can't even speak. I like to tap the dash button real quick, just to avoid that. And you see it costs almost nothing. See, and look at my time, 6:23. 26 with rough door movement. 6:24. And as you see with the other one, that's actually not bad. 6:16 isn't bad. But it's still not much. And this movement here is super simple. The only thing is you want to fire rod when Link is like halfway up these blocks. Because if you try to when you're like down here... Oh, never mind. It actually works when you're that far down. Oh wow, it works when you're really far down. Okay, that's too far. That's still too far. Oh, that works. But still, I guess if you want to be absolutely safe, tap the dash button real quick and fire rod when you're like at this block. Just like that. The other reason I like doing it this way is that the fire rod input is super simple. For some reason I just have a lot of trouble with doing this quick down, right, and then fire rod. Going from left down, right. So really, if you want to do either one, it's cool. I just wanted to show this safe tech here, because this is super simple, and as you see with the frame counter, it's barely much different. There is one fast way you can do this. I don't know if I would recommend it. Maybe someone can make it more consistent. But you can go here, and then dash. But as you see, the problem here, like, sometimes this just doesn't work. I actually have no idea why this will sometimes not work. But as you see, it's quite a bit faster. I think my best here was like 604. There's a 607. I mean, that's like just as good, basically. But as you see, if your dash is like a little bit off, where you're nudging this, or you're nudging the torch, you might get hit by that spike. Maybe if you start your dash earlier, it works. Maybe nudging the torch isn't as bad. But you know what I'm saying. And I mean, I'm getting it a few times in a row here, but it just randomly doesn't seem to work sometimes. But maybe I'm wrong about it. I don't know. But I guess it's nice to just show off 3 different strats here. So now I just want to show, I basically just want to show how easy this is. I'm just going to sit here and do this enough times until I just don't feel like it anymore. Let me just set it up first. Don't mind my lack of good menuing. So yeah, with fire rotting that spike, if I don't set up the duck altitude the way I do, pretty much lining Link up with the flowers before the warp, there seems to be a possible frame roll, or just the frame window in general, to fire out the spike is really small. But with this, as you see, I'm doing it with ease. Same with this one too. I don't know if again it's a frame roll, or if the frame window in general is really small. But sometimes it just won't work. But with the way I'm setting up the duck altitude now, I can just sit here and do this all day. Though of course, keep in mind again, I'm doing 40 to 60 frames of safer approaches. I'm also completely confident this isn't just, you know, I'm getting this easy every time just because of the save on the practice hack. Because I don't know how many times now I've remade the save. And it's just as easy every time. So it definitely isn't a practice hack thing. But I'm also not 100% certain if changing the way that I'm approaching the warp before Mire is making this like super simple. But that is the only thing that I changed for this, going from randomly missing the spike and the switch glitch in this room to just being able to sit here and do this all day with no problem. Let's do this another 10 times, and I'll call it there. I think I'm at 7, but I feel like might be at 6. So I'll just pretend we're at 6. I'll make that one 7. So yeah, I could sit here and do this all day and make this like a 10-hour video. I'll just stop it there. You guys can obviously see that the consistency is relatively simple. So hopefully that helps people. Helps me at least. And assuming this is even the final product of this glitch in this instance, which who knows, it's already changed like 3 times I think, at least twice, but I think 3 times. So